Hey guys, it's Chaotic Gamer here, and I'm here to talk to you about another update video. This one being about update 14.6. Now, overall, this is the last update before the new year, or at least before we get into the new year. There's really not much to talk about with this, so let's just get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the quote-unquote new maps coming to the game. Now, kind of keeping with the theme with the last two updates, such as 14.4 and 14.5, there are two new night maps coming to the game, those being on the Eastern Front. So we'll be getting a Kharkov night version and a Stalingrad night version. Now, in terms of game fixes or bug fixes, we have a couple. So the biggest one in this update is some vaulting improvements. So the vaulting mechanic as a whole is kind of been a bit of a buggy mess in general and just doesn't work 100% of the time, and Team 17 has at least attempted to try and fix it. So a bug had developed where when the player tries to vault over something under certain network conditions, the server and client would become desynchronized, which would lead to the player not able to vault over something. They have tried to change this so that when you do vault over something, or at least put in the mechanic to do so on your controller or keyboard, that you can at least vault over something while the game or server on your side stays synchronized, at least if I've translated this correctly. Now, whether or not this actually changed anything, we'll see in game, but at least they're trying to fix the vaulting mechanic issues in the game. So besides the vaulting mechanic, there really wasn't much to talk about in terms of improvements, but there was some decent bug fixes. So the visual rain effect on Purple Heart Lane was removed, because on Xbox, as you see on screen now, is very terrible. Like, that's the rain effect. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's terrible. I know this map isn't a lot of people's favorite, but I at least appreciate the quick fix for this map. I mean, at least as Recon, I love playing it, even with the limited access routes, but this map with the rain effect on console, at least for Xbox, was kind of unplayable. It was not really fun to deal with. But beside the rain effect on Xbox being changed, or at least removed, there really isn't much to talk about. I'll throw a picture on screen of all the different items that were at least general bug fixes. If you want to see them more in detail, I'll leave a link in the description about the changelog, or at least the update notes. So there'll be that for you, as well as there's a couple different maps that had couple tiny little things tweaked. But again, nothing really major. The last major thing I want to talk about is essentially the Red Skies DLC, or the Soviet paratrooper uniform that they brought with the game as a DLC to buy. Now, just up front, it's a cosmetic only DLC. There are no weapon changes with this DLC. It's merely just a uniform you can throw on your character. Essentially, this DLC is very similar to the Luftwaffe Eagles uniform that we got not too long ago. Instead of the German paratroopers, now we get the Russian paratroopers. So if you really want to cosplay or play as one of the worst airborne units that were ever made for World War II, then be my guest. But besides all the things I've already mentioned, this was actually a very, very small update. Probably not to mess up anything before the new year, but that's really all I've got for you for this update. Hopefully things work out, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, got something out of it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.